Hi internet people, this video is my TBR for Jordaline's Spooky Smart Bitch Readathon. So there are a variety of different prompts. Most of my books are from the library in some way, shape, or form. One is digital, and everything else is an actual physical book, which is going to be tricky because the challenge is only a week. It technically starts on the 24th and ends on the 30th, but I am probably going to have to secretly start reading one of the books early. Mostly because it is due the 26th and I'm really worried that I won't get it done if I don't start reading a little early, just because I had to request it pretty quick. So for the cannibals prompt, I am going to be reading, this is the only digital one, The Hunger, which you can't super see and you can see my ring light, but it's the only digital one I have to get. So The Hunger by Alma Katsu, and the description of this is a tense and gripping reimagining of one of America's most fascinating historical moments, the Donner Party, with a supernatural twist. Evil is invisible and it is everywhere. That is the only way to explain the series of misfortunes that have plagued the wagon train known as the Donner Party. Depleted rations, bitter quarrels, and the mysterious death of a little boy have driven the isolated travelers to the brink of madness. Though they dream of what awaits them in the West, long-buried secrets begin to emerge, and dissent among them escalates to the point of murder and chaos. They cannot seem to escape tragedy or the feeling that someone or something is stalking them. Whether it's a curse from the beautiful Tamsin Donner, who some think might be a witch, their ill-advised choice of route through uncharted terrain, or just plain bad luck, the 90 men, women, and children of the Donner Party are heading into one of the deadliest and most disastrous Western adventures in American history. I'm gonna stop there. There's a little bit more, but I don't want to give too much away. I literally could not find a book about cannibals that did not seem truly wild. Like, we didn't have Tender is the Flesh available to us in my region anywhere. And then all the other suggestions seemed horrifyingly not good. So I'm doing this one. I'm hoping I like it. I'm very intrigued. I've actually been through Donner Pass. We drove to California when I was a kid, so I've actually been in the area. Okay, so the other books are all physical. And I'm going to start with this one by Tiffany D. Jackson, White Smoke, which is the by POC author prompt. She did The Weight of Blood and I really, really liked it. This feels like one that might give a bunch of stuff away. So I'm going to give the description, but it will be brief. So this is: Marigold is running from ghosts. The phantoms of her old life keep haunting her, but a move with her newly blended family from their small California beach town to the embattled Midwestern city of Cedarville might be the fresh start she needs. Her mom's accepted a new job with the Sterling Foundation, which comes with a free house, one that Mari, I'm guessing it's Mari, because it's short for Marigold, or it's Mary. I'm going to say Mari because my sister's name is Mary. Now has to share with her bratty 10-year-old stepsister Piper. The renovated picture-perfect house on Maple Street, sitting between dilapidated houses surrounded by wary neighbors, has its secrets. And that's where I'm stopping because I don't want to give everything away. So that is for this. And then I'm going to tell you I'm playing slightly fast and loose with the term horror. And please let this be known, my library does not differentiate almost any genre from the other. It's a little annoying, which is not their fault. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm online, you can like look up and determine, but nothing is like sorted by genre. It's all fiction by author last name, which makes hunting for things a little tricky. But Our Wives Under the Sea, I picked this one for a book I'm most scared to read, and I chose it because I've heard it veers into the cosmic horror realm. So like Lovecraftian kind of stuff, and I do count that as horror, even if it frequently veers on like the sci-fi front. I also think this is probably considered like spooky literary fiction or just like literary fiction. But I really want to read this, but I've heard that it's sometimes really hard to understand, and even though it looks tiny, I'm like really worried that I won't get it. So I will read a little bit. A lot of people have read this already, so I'm just going to read a tiny bit of the description. So it is a debut novel. So Leah is changed. A marine biologist, she left for a routine expedition months earlier, only this time her submarine sank to the seafloor. When she finally surfaces and returns home, her wife, Miri, knows that something is wrong. Barely eating and lost in her thoughts, Leah, it's probably Leah, rotates between rooms in their apartment, running the taps morning and night. Whatever happened in that vessel, whatever it was the crew was supposed to be studying before they were stranded, Leah has carried part of it with her onto dry land and into their home. And I'm just gonna stop there. There's more, but I don't like giving everything away from the descriptions. Okay, the next two are unintentionally massive. which I did not plan because this is a short, it's a week. It's a week. I haven't read this many books in a week since I was in like college, maybe high school. I used to voraciously read like all the time. I would do like multiple books a day. This is going to be tricky because, you know, I have a job, I have a wife, I have a number of dogs and cats. I have things I have to do in life, and none of these are audiobooks. That's the problem. I was like, oh, I'll get an audiobook. I'm out of Audible credits. Should I have found one through Libby? Probably. Did I do that? No. I have a different video that I want to do, but I'm saving my upcoming credit for that video. But the next one is labeled sci-fi. I acknowledge this. Again, someone says this has killer mermaids in it, which I think counts as horror. So that's what we're going with for Into the Drowning Deep. This is for neurodivergent main character. And if this is incorrect, I am so sorry. But when I was looking it up, it was super hard. Jordaline did her video and said it was even hard to find books. This came up as a book with representation in it. I just don't know if it's the main character. I was just like Googling and Googling, and finally I was like, I heard a brief summary of this on someone's YouTube, and I was like, I'm gonna read it. Also, it is about water, and I had Our Wives Under the Sea, which was not intentional, but this is for neurodivergent, and I really hope it actually fits. I'm sorry if it doesn't, but it's also enormous. So big. Anyway, so brief description. The ocean is home to many myths. Some are deadly. 7 years ago, I'm gonna say this wrong, and I have heard people say this, Artigatis set off on a voyage to the Mariana Trench to film a mockumentary bringing to life ancient sea creatures of legend. It was lost at sea with all hands. Some have called it a hoax, others have called it a tragedy. Now a new crew has been assembled, but this time they're not out to entertain. Some seek to validate their life's work, some seek the greatest hunt of all, some seek the truth. But for the ambitious young scientist Victoria Stewart, this is a voyage to uncover the fate of the sister she lost. Whatever the truth may be, it will only be found below the waves. The secrets of the deep come with a price. See, that sounds like horror to me. And it says sci-fi on it, which makes me think it's also cosmic horror, which is still horror. Like, Lovecraft is cosmic horror. Also, Lovecraft is a freaking jerk, but I like the concepts of Lovecraftian monsters. Like an elder god, you see him, he's delightful, and I love him. Anyway, the next one is for LGBTQ plus author, and again, is massive. And this was in a list of books, and I've heard good things, so I wanted to read it. But it's Plain Bad Heroines, which even if it has pictures, which you can't see any of them right now, it's still huge, huge. And I'm gonna have to read it after Into the Drowning Deep, because the order I'm showing you these books is the order I have to return them to the library. So that's what's happening. But Plain Bad Heroines with some pictures, very big. Okay, oh my gosh, I can't read all of this. This is so long. Let's do, oh, I actually read The Miseducation of Cameron Post. Look at me. All right. Our story begins in 1902 at the Brooke-Hance School for Girls. Flo and Clara, it's probably Clara. Clara, two impressionable students, are obsessed with each other and with a daring young writer named Mary McLean, the author of a scandalous best-selling memoir. To show their devotion to Mary, the girls established their own private club and call it the Plain Bad Heroine Society. They meet in secret in a nearby apple orchard, the setting of their wildest happiness and ultimately of their macabre deaths. Jump, 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 jump. Over a century later, the now abandoned and crumbling Brooke-Hance is back in the news when wonderkind writer Merritt Emmons publishes a breakup book celebrating the queer feminist history surrounded the haunted and cursed Gilded Age institution. Her best-selling book inspires a controversial horror film adaptation starring celebrity actor and lesbian it girl Harper Harper, playing the ill-fated heroine Flo, opposite B-list actress and former child star Audrey Wells as Clara. And I'm stopping there. I skipped a bunch of that description because I feel like it probably gives a ton away. Okay, so there are the library books. The last book is for, it was like fall vibes or Halloween vibes. When I read it, I went with Halloween. And there's a book that I bought at a convention because I was intrigued. I'm very sure this is like YA, more campy horror than anything else, but it is the book, The Teenager's Guide to Surviving a Horror Film. It's by an indie author, indie cover, indie book. This does not have to go back to my library, so I'm reading it last. And then the back of this is, I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it. Hello, I am your guide, your spirit guide. Every year, the haunted Maths Well Manor lures 8 times, this is 4 times 2, see? lures 8 teenagers into its depths on Halloween night. As a previous victim, cursed to wander the estate, Jacqueline uses her expertise on horror films to guide the newest teens. But there is a problem. No one can hear her sarcastic voice. So I'm not going to read all the descriptions because I can describe all the characters. It's very horror film based. It's set on Halloween. I thought it would be very fun. And again, I own it already and I feel like I should read it. So those are the books I'm reading. I have to start reading The Hunger probably before the challenge actually starts because again, I need to finish it and get it back on time, if not early. And some of these are huge. So my focus on this fun reading challenge, which I'm just gonna lift the heavy shiny ones, is to get these plus this and that digital book done, which is a lot of reading with no audiobooks. So good luck to me. If you're doing the challenge, please comment and let me know what you're reading. Also, you can tell me if these don't actually fit or if I'm wrong, because I was trying so hard to find these and I'm still not sure they fit at all with the challenge, but I'm reading them anyway. So, oh well, but you can tell me off if I'm wrong. It's fine. But anyway, let me know if you're doing the challenge. If not, if you've read these, let me know what you thought. Spoiler free, please, because I don't know. Also, you can't see 2 of them, but I have a feeling folks may not have even heard of that last one. And The Hunger is just hard to hold up because it's an ebook. So yes, I hope you're doing the challenge. I hope I can survive the challenge. I also wore a cute ghost shirt. This is If You Got It, Haunted. So hopefully this all goes well and we have a fun time. So bye your net, people.